Hello and welcome to the Take 3 Reactors Summit. Obviously, I am not Jacob London. I am Kristen Smith. He unfortunately had to go to work or something when we filmed this, so I guess that sucks. However, I'm here. I told him I wouldn't burn the place down, but I might. Who else is on this panel? Let's find out. Today, we also have Chris Dohmen. How's it going? You want to help me burn this place down?
Kristen, come on. Anytime that we have a chance to burn stuff down together, you know I have to say yes. I am legally obligated as the boss of Take 3 to say yes.
That's pretty accurate. Matt Kearns, burning it down or not burning it down? What's your stance?
No, we're not going to burn it down because I'm just here to talk about the Schmoedown. And I'm not going to be funny because apparently I'm only 1% funnier than Evan according to polls on Take 3. Fun.
And I'm funnier than you and Evan both combined, so that's fantastic.
Shut your mouth.
Manning Franks, how's it going, man? I've never been on a summit with you. This is new.
This is very new. This is uncharted territory we are currently swimming in, and I am excited because I've watched this before, so it's wow. Oh, I can't speak words today, guys. I'm moving in back to college. Woo! So it's been going a mile a minute. However, I'm super excited to actually give my opinions, and hopefully there's some weight to them.
Awesome. I'm excited for you to be here, Manning. And last but not least, Chris Clark, who makes me cry, and also our wonderful engineer for the video / editor / everything, who we don't pay. How's it going?
And why don't you, Jacob? Why don't you, Jacob? Why don't you, Jacob, Kristen? I am completely and utterly disgusted. No, hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Nick. No, hi, guys. I'm Chris. This is going to be great. I don't know what I did right now, but I just killed Kristen again. I love you, Kristen.
All right. Well, this is going to be an interesting panel. So let's get right into it. We do have a segment from Dale the Dude. As always, he's one of my favorite people. He is hilarious, and he always makes me laugh on the Twitter. And so, Dale, why don't you tell us what you thought of the Schmoedown this week?
Everybody, this is Dale the Dude Gibbs coming at you with a Schmoedown weekly recap. Now, we started off this week with a big old upset. Stacy Howard taking down Mark Ellis, dude. Now, by the numbers, man, this was one of the biggest upsets the Schmoedown has seen, dude. She was not predicted to win this at all, but played a hell of a match and came out victorious. And this was a hell of a match. They brought this thing, I mean, they went the distance, brought it all the way to the end, then went past the end into sudden death territory, where after 2 questions, Stacy Howard was walking away with the win. Mark Ellis played his damn heart out, played a hell of a match himself, was looking mighty snazzy in those scrubs, although he is the last person I would trust with a scalpel. Only bad things can come from that. Then to cap off the week, we had what, to me, personally, was the most anticipated match of the first round. We got John Rocha, Jason Inman, winner of the Fatal 5-Way. This was a great match, dude. I mean, the first two rounds were something else. I mean, they were always within 1 or 2 points of each other, just blow to blow, going back and forth. Great things, man. And going into round 3, I mean, listen, I was on the edge of my seat, Rocha. I mean, dude, palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. I'm not going to do it. Mom spaghetti. Anyway, going into round 3, dude, I mean, you can call it bad luck, bad timing, bad strategy, or you can just call it the Schmoedown, because you never know what's going to happen, dude. Jason Inman missed his first, second, and all 3 round 3 questions. You just never know what's going to happen, dude. But it was awesome to see him fight it out. Great match. John Rocha will be moving forward in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown singles tournament along with Stacy Howard and the winner from our previous weeks. That about wraps it up for this week. And until next time, I'm Dale the Dude.
Thanks, Dale. That was awesome. As always, I was laughing. I was crying. It was all great. So, moving on, we are going to be talking about this week's matches. And I don't really want to talk about the first match, but I have to. So, the first match was Ellis versus Stacy Howard. And I think we all know how it ended. Unfortunately, Ellis did not win, and it made me cry on camera a little bit. It's always great. And, yep. But now Ellis is at 5-4 in his record, and Stacy's at 2-0, which is awesome for Stacy. Not so awesome for Ellis, but he's still got time to come back. And, you know, to move on to maybe someone who wasn't super sad when this match happened. Matt Kearns, what was your take on this match?
Listen, this was a really good match. It went down to sudden death. It's always fun to see those matches happen. I think the thing is that I think some people, I mean, listen, it sucks that Mark lost, but there's some people who are walking away saying, oh, well, Mark beat himself. And They're not. Stacy, you have to give her credit, though. Yes, she has played in teams since 2016, but this is only her second time in singles by herself. Brienne, we saw at the end of the video, Brienne and Jay were not there to be supporting her. She was kind of on her own, and she was able to take last year's tournament winner to sudden death. That's not an easy thing to do, so you have to give her credit. She dressed up like Kurt Russell again, which seems to be, helping her, so she should probably keep doing it. I don't know. What's next? Miracle? Backdraft? Maybe? You just on the phone? I don't know. Yeah, listen, it sucks for Mark. It also sucks because another one of my bracket choices wasn't correct. But yeah, overall, really, really fun match.
Yeah, totally agree with you. It despite the fact that it made me cry, it was a fantastic match. Manning, what did you think about this match? Did it make you cry? Did it make you laugh?
It did not make me cry, but in fact, it did indeed make me laugh because you put Mark Ellis in any match and he's going to bring the house down with laughter, even if you're cheering for him or not. And I was kind of cheering for him. I predicted Stacy because I knew there was going to be a couple of upsets in this first round. A couple, I said. And then now what happened? Everywhere, all brackets have been busted. At this point, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get half the matches right with how it's turning out. But I'm really happy with what Stacy's performance was because she proved that she can play with the best of them right now. And Mark Ellis just had not the best day, and that's totally okay. You have Rocha doesn't have his great days. Bibbs doesn't have his great days. Drew McWeeny doesn't have his days. Snyder doesn't have a days. Every single player has a day where they don't show up. And it's not indicative of their skill. It's just kind of like the wheel and the questions they are asked. There is no one that is an encyclopedia of movie knowledge, but Ellis showed that he is one of the most entertaining people to watch. And Stacy Howard, with her entrances, as Kearns mentioned, is getting up to be one of my favorites. Because even if you're not the biggest Kurt Russell fan, Kearns, stop. I love Kurt Russell. But even if someone who isn't the biggest Kurt Russell fan, you have to appreciate the time she puts into her costumes. Just like Brienne, the Misfits definitely can put on a show, and that's something that some other teams can't always say. But in the end, I think this was an excellent match, super fun, not terribly high scoring, but something that I will go back to and just kind of laugh off because I know that Mark Ellis is so funny, and Stacy Howard with those jabs she had back and forth. This is why we watched the Schmoedown, not only because of the questions and to play along, but to be entertained, and I was entertained.
Absolutely. I mean, this was, if nothing else, one of the most entertaining matches we've had in this tournament. Chris Clark, what are your thoughts on this match?
I am so glad. If you saw our reaction, it was the most glorious thing ever. I lost Bibbs in round one. She and Evan lost Ellis in round one. I am now forever not alone. Everybody was miserable. Everybody was fantastic. And the doctor was in the house, and the surgeon left it. Ellis lost. Stacy Howard, Kurt Russell Howard, whatever you want to call her, she killed it. She destroyed the competition. Sudden Death was great. Sudden Death was glorious. Sudden Death defeated the baby carrots, and it was awesome. The entire match, you were on the edge of your seat. And at the end, birds flew, and Kristen gave the bird, and it was a great bird, and it was a big bird.
Thanks for that.
God.
I don't know what that was, but thanks for that. Every time, Clark. Every time. All right, and last but not least, we've got Chris Dohmen. What did you think about this match?
This hurt me so much because, selfishly speaking, and I'm speaking for a lot of the fans too, when I say there are fewer things from this league that I would just love more than to have the two creators of this league just duke it out mano a mano. And if it would have been a title match at that, it would have made watching the Schmoedown Spectacular just that little bit much more worth it. Because obviously, I was going to watch it no matter what. But then when when you are denied that opportunity because Deep Throat Ellis, really? That wasn't even on for Best Picture, bro. Like, sure, it's the highest box office for an X-rated movie of all time, but Deep Throat, really? I mean, it's an interesting film, if you can call it that, but Midnight Cowboy, dude, you even knew it. How could you not write it down? Oh well. But here's the thing, though. Kind of like Rocha Harloff in last year's tournament, which that killed me to see the end result of. That's still my all-time favorite match, and this is easily in my top 10 favorite matches because of how close it was, the back and forth, and yeah, just Deep Throat, really?
Yeah, that last answer was definitely stressful for me as well. Like I said at the beginning of the recap, I really wanted Ellis to win. He's my favorite competitor. Obviously, I wanted him to win. So I did take that loss kind of hard. But at the same time, Stacy Howard is just a wonderful person. And I do love seeing her whenever she's in the Schmoedown. And I do hope she continues this Kurt Russell streak. There are a lot of Westerns that are untapped for costumes. I'm just saying, a lot of Westerns. And he's been in a lot of them. So just saying, you know, it's an option or not. There's a lot of Kurt Russell movies out there. So
just tweet me and I can give you some suggestions.
Yeah, Matt is your Kurt Russell guy if you need some suggestions. But it was a close match. Obviously, it went down to sudden death. There's nothing more stressful for a major fan of a competitor than for it to go down to sudden death. So was it a great match? Abso-freaking-lutely, it was a great match. But am I entirely happy that Ellis is out? No, I am not. But that does lead us to our second match, which I'm a little bit happier with the results. We got Rocha versus Inman. Spoiler alert, Rocha did win, and he got his first knockout. So that's awesome for him. Now puts him up to a 7-4, and Inman down to 2-3. Still a good record for Inman, and he can definitely continue to play at kind of a high stakes level. But yeah, let's see what everyone thought about it. Chris Clark, what did you think about this match?
Well, look, I actually predicted Inman winning, and look what happened. Okay, Inman, I feel like neither competitor had a great game. I feel like Inman lost. I don't feel like John necessarily won. It was an off game for both. John was still really rusty. It's his first singles match in what, like 3 months, 2 months, 2.5, something like that. So I mean, yeah, the match was still great. It was fun. It was enlightening. It's John and Jason Inman. They have great chemistry and they have great personalities. It's just I don't feel like either of them really did the best they could in the actual match per se. But I mean, John got a rightful win, but it wasn't the best win he's ever gotten, nor was it his best match. But you know, things happen. People are human, and yeah, the match was solid. Jason, we're gonna see again, probably in another 5-way or something. He did fantastic. So yeah, it was a solid match. I don't think it was one of the better ones for John, but other than that, yeah, it was. John did a pretty decent job though, and I congratulate him for the win.
Yeah, no, good points all around.
Yeah.
Matt, what did you think about this match?
I thought this was a good match. You know, this is one of those times when watching the whole video and not just the match helps. Because the match itself was a little scoring. There weren't really any big shocking moments, but everything around it was great. Jason, I think, is a guy who is really good on the mic. I especially love when he's like, no one thought I was going to be here. Here I am. You have Rocha. I'm going to call it a heel turn. He's kind of a face, kind of still got his heel, you know. He's got new intro music. So, you know, I also did really like how he still has the 4 Horsemen shirt, yet wore his vest so that the other 2 members were blocked out of it. I found that funny. Listen, it sucks that Jason Inman lost. I am happy that John Rocha is moving on, but I've always felt that ever since Inner Geekdom started, Jason Inman has always been more focused on being in that league than regular singles. And he has his match with Emma Fyffe coming up soon, so I'm hoping that Jason can take winning the Fatal 5-Way to get into the tournament, playing Rocha can kind of boost him up a little bit in this match against Emma. And, because I would like to see, because Jason's been talking big about beating Hector, I would like to see him maybe go for that belt. But overall, a fun match. A fun match.
Absolutely. I liked your point about the entirety of the match being very important and not just skipping to the trivia. As Harloff would like you to watch the whole entire thing, sometimes it can make a low-scoring match a lot more interesting. So definitely big proponent of watching the entire video. All right, Manning, what did you think about this match?
The Outlaw is my favorite competitor in this entire match, this entire Schmoedown, because of what John Rocha has gone through, the story that has occurred, and I've been a big fan of the top 10. So rooting for John Rocha is an easy task for me to do because I love the guy. And I wouldn't agree, nor would I disagree that it wasn't a bad match. It was not a bad match by any means of the word, but it wasn't, as Clark said, it wasn't the best match we could have possibly had. The first round was fantastic. Fantastic. Rocha only missed one, and I believe Jason Inman missed two, I believe. So they were doing very, very well. And then the second round happened, and the wheel it went in their favor in a way, but they didn't get the questions that they really, really could have sunk their teeth into. Because biopics is starting to get the bottom of the barrel for Rocha, and as someone who's really good at biopics, when you start to see he's struggling with those, you're getting some really, really deep cuts of biopics specifically. I know I had to do a double take on a couple of those to be like, wait, that movie existed? Oh, right, whoa, Michael Sheen was in all those? I totally forgot about that. It's definitely a match that I feel like won't be talked about, but not because it was bad, but not because it was just because it was a match. It was there. I'm glad we got a little bit of the Outlaw come back with his little barrage against Levine, because I'm really looking forward to that, because those two have been going at it for a while. But Jason Inman showed me that he's someone to look out for in the future, even not with Inner Geekdom, but even in the future, because he did take down Ben Bateman, Robert Meyer Burnett, Dewberry, Scott Mans. He took down all those people to prove he was the best for this match, and to go up against Rocha and actually do really well. In the end, it was him. He did lose, and Rocha didn't really win, if you're looking at it that way, but I feel like overall, competitors did bring their B-plus game.
Yeah. And that's an excellent point. Not every match has to be super high scoring for it to be a good match. And I agree with you. I thought it was well played overall, but definitely not either of their best matches. Chris Dohmen, what are your thoughts on this match?
On the one hand, sure, could I be that guy who is acting all disappointed, like, oh, this wasn't the best match because it was a TKO. There was only a total of 21 points score between the two competitors. But you know what? Okay. This might have been the first match of the tournament that was a legitimate gentleman's match. There was no BS going into it. There was no baggage associated with these two competitors. It was just two guys who were like, hey, you know what? I'm in for a good game, but I'm in this to win this. So don't take it personally if I win. And, they were both completely good sports about it. And I have to say, as much as it disappoints me that we didn't get Mance, Rocha 3, Jason still put up a hell of a fight, and he just ran to bad luck in that third round, because I can promise you that if he had hit all three of his questions, it would have gone much longer. And who knows? There's a possibility it could have maybe gone to sudden death or something like that. And, come on. Who doesn't love a good round of sudden death? Who doesn't love when a good gentleman's match happens? Because, like I previously said, they are a rarity, especially in this tournament.
I really enjoyed this match. I enjoy pretty much every match, so that's not saying a lot. But I did like this match because they were very respectful of each other, and it's nice to see that every once in a while. I do like the smack talk, don't get me wrong, But I do also like to see people just coming and playing the game. And I mean, when Inman when he won the 5-way, he said, if I lose to Rocha, I'm rooting for him to win the whole thing. So I just think that it's a good perspective to have, like, going into the match, knowing like, hey, if you beat me, I got your back, like, on this. I thought that was really cool. I also think that Inman, we've said it before, but he has this habit of not guessing on answers. He just says, I don't know, and kind of washes his hands of it. And like, if he had just guessed on that Disney one, like, I don't know if he would have got it, but you have to kind of know, like, around when movies came out, like in 2014, what Disney movies were out there. Just take a guess. Like, you could have been right. You never know. And that always bothers me, just because you never know if you guess the right answer or not. And it's always worthwhile to just take the chance. And I think Inman's a great competitor. I want to see him do well. So just do well. Like, I want to see everyone do well, but I really like Inman. And so, that always bothers me when competitors just say, I don't know, I give up. Like, no, just guess. But it was a great match. I really did enjoy it. Don't make fun of my T-Rex arms. So, moving on from this week's matches, we are now looking forward to round 2. I'm very excited for round 2 because most of my favorites are out of the tournament. So at this point, I'm just like picking new favorites. On October 24th, we have Rachel Cushing versus Stacy Howard. On October 27th, we have JTE versus Snyder. October 31st, we have Brianne Chandler versus Mike Kalinowski. And the first match of November, on the 3rd, we have Rocha versus Levine. We're going to go match by match, talk about who we think is going to be winning, what we think is going to be the outcome of the match. And so let's get started. All right, Manning, why don't you lead us off? Rachel Cushing versus Stacy Howard. Who do you think is going to win this match?
You know how I said that Stacy Howard has proven she can now play with the best of them? Well, this is probably where her streak will end, because Rachel Cushing is one of the best of them, as she has been proven. And I think that is because of, if she can remain, not under pressure and can beat that, I think Rachel Cushing has a great shot of going all the way. I can see a Rocha v. Cushing if it comes down to it. And that'd be something I'm really looking forward to, because I think Cushing is a fantastic competitor. She has a very broad knowledge just from being in the business for so long, being ingrained in there. But don't count Stacy Howard out, because she did take down Ellis, who was the finalist to go up against Dan Murrow for the championship. And that is something that you do not want to just throw away, because every competitor has their bad day, but I think this is where Rachel comes out at the end, and with a crushed Stacy Howard.
All right, well put. Way to use those nicknames. That's always a good thing to remember people's nicknames. I'm really bad with remembering all these nicknames. There are too many nicknames. All right, Chris Clark, what is your opinion on this upcoming match, Rachel Cushing versus Stacy Howard?
Well, look, I love Rachel to death, but Stacy, she seems to be like she's going to be the upset of the tournament. Now, my prediction is obviously Rachel is sadly going to lose to Stacy, though it's going to be a close match. I feel like Stacy has proven herself. She's beaten Baby Carrots, who almost made it to, like, Mark Ellis is nothing to scoff at. Beating Mark Ellis is nothing to scoff at, and she did it. So, I mean, anything could happen. I mean, the Schmoedown's like Mario Kart. Anything can happen at any time. It's super luck based. Except you're not in a team with somebody who can't drive and driving off a cliff and everything. But look, it's great. I feel like this match will be one of probably the best of the tournament. It could, because of how much Stacy and Rachel know. So you never know. It could be like 80 rounds of sudden death or something. But this match will be unpredictable. But my prediction is indeed Stacy Howard.
All right. And Matt, do you think that this match will end the Chris Clark curse, or will we see another upset set of his pick.
I don't know. Chris Clark scares me now when he picks people because I go. But we'll get to that much later on to the tournament. I think Rachel's gonna win. I like Stacy a lot. I think she definitely proved that she is really good in her match against Ellis. But Rachel did the same thing against Mark and Draco. A lot of people had her losing, and she's proven against everyone she's gone up to and in teams that and in her geekdom that she's a strong player. And I think that's what's going to propel her. Is I just think she's a little bit more used to the game because she's been playing all three leagues for a bit now, and so I think Rachel's going to walk away with this win.
All right, no, that's a good reason to answer. Chris Dohmen, who do you have winning this match?
So all sense of count of sanity and logic is telling me I need to go for Rachel Cushing. But I can't believe I'm about to say this. There's a method to Clark's madness, and I think they're actually, because look, this is the ultimate upsets. This tournament is officially now dubbed in my book the ultimate upsets, and I genuinely think Stacy might pull this one out. Look, Stacy, you're awesome, and I'm rooting for Rachel, but I think by some stroke of luck, she winds up pulling it out and going to the semifinals. So we'll just have to see what happens. But hey, you never know.
Just realized I had a smudge under my eye, like this whole thing. It looked like I had a black. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. This one is hard for me to call, honestly. Because Rachel Cushing is one of my favorite players, but I have a good feeling about Stacy Howard as well. I think that she knows a lot more than what people assume she does, because she did grow up with a lot of brothers, and she's watched a lot of movies that people might not assume she's watched. And we all know her as someone who knows like rom-coms and musicals. She knows a lot more than that, and I don't think people give her enough credit for the knowledge that she does have. However, I am going with Rachel, just because as someone who just usually picks whoever their favorites are, she's in my top 3 that are still playing, and so I would pick Rachel just for that, and I hope she does win, but there are a few matches that happen every year that if either player won, I would be completely happy with it. So this is one of those matches. If it was Rachel or Stacy, I would still be happy. So either way, it'll be a great match. The next match we have is a big one. It could be the craziest match of the tournament. We have JTE, Little Evil himself, going up against his teammate, Snyder. It is going to be just insane. To talk about this insanity, Chris Clark, who, I'm not going to say that your curse works every time, because it doesn't, or else betting on the Schmoedown would be super easy. But, who is your pick? And, just talk a little bit about how insane you think this match is going to be.
Okay, this curse does not exist. In an alternate reality, I would be amazing at predicting the bracket. Look, JTE and Snyder, this is the Patriot Civil War. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be riveting. There's probably going to be like 15 minutes of promo before the actual match because of all the shit talk and stuff that's going to happen and the stories that are going to be intercut and stuff. It's going to be an amazing hour of power. The thing is, I can't overlook the fact that JTE was the first person to beat Bibbs and to TKO Bibbs. And you cannot underestimate the power of Jeté. And I think he's a better player. He doesn't pull the weight of Jeff. Jeff doesn't pull the weight of him. It's just who TKO'd the most valuable player in the entire world. It's JTE who did that, and JTE is going to go to the top while Snyder takes that escalator down to the pits of the sardines. So it's going to be a great match. It's going to be an awesome match, and I cannot wait to lick the wounds of all the people who want to see Jeff win, because they're going to cry, and I'm going to I'm going to quench my thirst on their tears.
All right, Chris. I hope you enjoy eating people's tears. All right, Manning. Will Chris Clark be eating your tears?
I don't know how I can follow that. Because I would prefer if he did not eat my tears. I don't want him to come over to my dorm and just start eating my tears. That's kind of strange. So if I see a guy named Chris Clark trying to get into my campus, I'll just say, no, don't let him in, please. But okay, that aside, I am actually agreeing with Clark this time. Surprise, and Jeff Snyder, he did make it to the final for against Harloff to champion Dan Murrell. But JTE has, while he does have his ups, while he does have his downs, he does have his ups as well too. I guess vice versa, it works as well too. But as I've been saying, every competitor has a bad day, every competitor has a great day, and he did beat Drew McQueen, who people were already crowning, besides Bibbs, of course, obviously, Drew McQueen as the one who's going to make it to the finals. That's someone that people thought, oh, he's going to absolutely take it. If you look at how the Inside Schmoedown, the predictions that people had, Drew McQueen was one of the people. Didn't make it. JTE is a force to be reckoned with when he brings his A game, and I think we're going to be shocked. This is my upset of round 2, where I think JTE is going to take down Snyder. And with that, I don't think the Horsemen are going to break up from this. This isn't going to cause any huge rifts, or it could be completely wrong. But the storyline wise, I think it's going to be some nice little juicy tension, because who doesn't love tension in the Schmoedown? So I think it's JTE. But you know what? Could be wrong. Everyone was wrong for the
Patriots,
yes,
Horsemen, same thing. All right. Normal reactions. But yeah, the Horsemen and the Lions Den, it's like the same animal, horses, lions.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Meant the Lions Den. I said that now. I have the Horsemen on my mind.
It's cool. They're like the same animal. Matt Kearns, how do you think this match is going to go down?
So it's actually funny, but earlier when we were all talking about this, I wasn't really sure who was going to win this match. And then the other day I was watching Inside Schmoedown, and Ken Knapsack was interviewing Jen Sturger, and she was talking about watching this match and seeing the people who sometimes it's more who's on a hot streak, who's catching fire. That's why I think GT is going to win. I think GT, because you got to look at it. I like Matt Nose a lot, but Snyder beating Matt Nose, not that huge of a deal. GTE being the guy who not only were people saying was going to the finals, but was going to beat Ellis, Rocha, whoever's going to make it, was going to beat Harloff and take the belt. You beat him, and then also you have the thing of JT, ever since the Patriots has started, it's always been Snyder's carrying JT, Snyder's carrying JT. This is, not only is he on the hot streak of beating McLean, but this is his chance. If he beats Jeff, you can't say that Jeff is carrying him anymore. So I think JT is going to pull it out, and I'm frightened because I chose the same as Chris Clark.
As we all should be, because apparently so far everyone has picked JTE on the panel. Chris Dohmen has been sitting here with sunglasses on this whole time, and I've been ignoring him on purpose. Who do you think is going to win? Will you join the rest of the panel so far in picking JTE?
Well, see, now, the person who's really going to win is just anybody who is not a fan of the Lions Den, because I can promise you this. It doesn't matter who wins this match, because afterwards, they're just going to have those little kernels of mistrust, of anger, of hatred. And you want to know what's going to happen by the time Spectacular rolls around, baby? The Patriots are going to split up. The Lions Den is going to collapse, and poor Tom Dagnino, he's going to be out of a job. Oh, no. I feel so terrible. But, okay. All seriousness. I expect this to be one of the closest matches of round 2. I expect it to be one of the closest matches of the tournament. But here's the thing. this is actually a match where I am going to go completely with my head over my heart. My heart actually kind of wants JTE to win because this is his comeback year. However, if there's one thing that I know about Jeff Snyder, and hopefully Kearns can kind of back me up on this, he is one of the most determined men in the Schmoedown. He is quite possibly the most determined player of all time.
He does take his losses very hard.
Yes. And what would give him more satisfaction than to play the commish in a rematch at Spectacular?
For the belt, yeah.
So
Good point.
By just the slice of margins. And I actually think JTE might almost fall on the sword a little bit to help Jeff make that happen. I'm not saying it would be intentional, but I'm saying like maybe something will happen in the match where that might be a possibility. I am spitballing here. I'm speculating. But bottom line, I see Snyder taking this one, whether it is just by the way the game goes for him or just by the sheer force of will that man has. So, Snyder, for once, I'm backing you, my man. Don't let me down on Friday.
And it is a weird thing having to root for someone from the Lion's Den. It does not happen to me very often. But in this case, I will have to choose one of them. So, like everyone has kind of said at this point, I do expect this to be a close match. JTE is on an incredible hot streak with both singles and teams, and Jeff Snyder has just been a consistent player since he came into the league. I mean, there is probably not very many people as consistent as him. He doesn't have a lot of bad games. He's had a couple okay games, but he's never really fallen on his face in a game. And he's very consistent, and he's also very driven. I do have Snyder winning because I suck at
you could say his name this week.
Yeah. See, I have to pick one of them, right? Like, I'm being forced into choosing someone from the Lions Den to win a match. Terrible.
You would love it if they could both lose.
I think Tom would have a heart attack, but no. I have an incredible amount of respect for both of these guys. I think that they're both incredibly knowledgeable about movies, and I think it is a little sad, actually, that they're both playing in round 2 and that we don't get to see both of them in round 3, because the years that they're both having, I think they both could have made it to round 3. Personality wise, my Schmoedown personality person would say I wish they would both lose. But if I'm honest with myself, they are both extremely knowledgeable, and I do think Snyder will win. I think that he's just got the drive to go all the way on this one. And if he can make it past JTE, his road to the final looks pretty good. So, yeah, so that's my take on it. We'll see. I did go against Chris Clark, so hopefully he doesn't eat my tears.
This is when it turns around.
Yeah, right? Next, the following week, we have Brianne Chandler versus Mike Kalinowski. They are fated to meet each other. It seems like every month at this point. It's about every other week. They are fighting each other in a Schmoedown battle. Chris Dohmen, how do you think this match is going to go down?
I've got to spend about the next 3 seconds smirking because Matthew Kearns should know exactly how I think this is going to go. Brianne gets her revenge. She is on a hot hand right now in singles. She has not lost a match yet. And I think, oh no, sorry, wait. Ha! Let me restart that. I'm going to spend about the next 3 seconds smirking in Kearns' direction just so I can get my point across. Because what's the point of having a great trilogy if it doesn't go the other way for one match? Sure. Mike is a fantastic player. I can take nothing away from him as a competitor. He is one of the only members of the 9 club in round 1. But despite that, I honestly think Brienne's going to pull this one out. I really feel like she is going to surprise us once again, because who honestly had her for round 1 against Clark? I'm pretty sure nobody on this panel did. So, with all due respect to Mike, and with all due respect to all his fans, I'm pretty sure this is going to go her way, and it's going to make the story even more interesting if they meet up in the future. So, and plus, again, back to my determination point with Snyder, how much has Brienne committed to doing stuff for the Schmoedown? She is single-handedly one of the most committed players in this league when it comes to her strategy of gameplay, her approach to her character, her costumes, her mindset. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but she's got this. So, Brienne, best of luck.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't be sorry, Chris. Brienne is an amazing person and an amazing contributor to the Schmoedown. Manning Franks, who do you think is going to win this match?
Who do I think is going to win, or who do I want to win? Because
either one, whichever.
Either
listen
one
to your heart.
Oh, I want both of them to win, because that would be amazing. Think of how happy everyone would be if everyone just won the Schmo. No, I want one person to win. And I'll say I just want a good game, because I'm not in the camp a huge camp of either of them. I like both of them a lot, but I'm not like a diehard fan of either one of them. However, Brienne has only gotten better with with time in the Schmoedown. She's increasingly proven she is a force to be reckoned with. Same thing goes with the Killer. When he came on, I forgot what his first match was, but I remember when he came on, he just
Ashley Robinson.
Thank you. He wrecked shop. Literally wrecked shop. He killed. He's assassinated. He destroyed. He knows his movie trivia. Not just inner geekdom, but he knows his movie trivia. So does Brienne. So this isn't going to be a cut and dry match. I think it's going to come down to another nail biter, this sequel, and I think this could go the way of Rocha v. Mads 2 and go the other end, and Brienne could come out the victor. The loser could be the winner. But I think it's going to come down to the third round, and I think it's going to be Mike. I think Mike's going to be able to, as much as I would love Brienne to take that, I think Mike's going to take it with the last round, because he has just proven just a smidge more why I believe he is the better competitor, just by a bit. However, if she wins, I'm not going to be shocked whatsoever, and I'm going to applaud her, because I will be right there cheering her on for the next round, because she's also a fantastic competitor.
All right. I mean, that's well put. I kind of agree with you on that one, that I'd be happy if either one won, but I'm happy if anyone wins. Honestly, we're all winners when we get to watch the Schmoedown. And Chris Clark, how's it going? What do you think about this match? Are you going to be super upset if Mike wins?
Look, I predicted Rachel losing, and there goes down the pillar of Jacob. Your pillar and my pillar are gone. I need Mike Kalinowski to lose. Brienne needs to win, because Brienne is proving herself to be a force to be reckoned with in this competition, and being the buster of brackets that we all know she can be. But the main reason is Mike Kalinowski needs to go, because when Mike goes, that leaves Rocha, and when we get to Rocha's match, he's gonna go, and then everybody will be together in one cohesive huddle and say, yes, this entire Ultimate Schmoedown stuck a fork in our butt, and it was terrible, and it sucked, and it really was bad, but we all got poked in the butt by a fork together, and that's what we need. We need that feeling of entire unity, because Mike needs to go so Matt can be miserable. Matt's the only person not miserable. Yeah, Riley retired, but that wasn't part of the Ultimate Schmoedown singles tournament. No. But yeah. So, and overall, Brienne's going to win. Mike's going to lose. And as to quote High School Musical, We're all in this together.
Truer words were never
Applaud
spoken.
this, man.
That is
It was
beautiful.
so beautiful.
That was beautiful. There's no way in hell Kearns can top that.
I'm just gonna need 1 second. Ooh, okay. All right. Well, I think there is one last person on this panel who has something to say, and I think it's gonna get a little nasty. So if you don't want to hear anything bad, just take your headphones out now and set them gently down, and just picture unicorns and rainbows in your head. Matt Kearns, what do you have to say?
Oh, God. There's this odd smell on this summit. What is it? Oh, I think it's loser behavior coming from all you, okay? Now let me start with the nice me. Listen, I like Brienne a lot. She is a great competitor. I think I love her entrances. I love how into the Schmoedown she gets. She's a really good personality for us to have in both teams and singles. Yes, she is on a hot streak, beating Clark. My mind just skipped a little. We have Clark on the panel, so it does this. But Kalinowski's also on a streak too. He beat Josh McCouga, a guy who had never been knocked out of a tournament, had never lost first round in singles ever. He beat him. So now we have that, and you also have the thing of every time in the Schmoedown, both teams in singles, when Kalinowski and Brienne have met, Brienne's lost, and they haven't always been good. I know some people are going to be like, yeah, but Kearns, Rocha, and Riley. Yeah, but here's the thing. Riley brought Rocha to the last question every time. The last time Mike and Brienne met in both singles and teams, it ended in a knockout or a TKO. Now, I like Brienne a lot, but Mike's going to walk away with this because it's kind of for the same reason I said about Rachel. To be honest, right now, I'm looking at the finals of tournament possibly being Rachel and Mike, because I think you have 3 people who have been performing very well in all 3 of the leagues, which means they've been playing a lot. And the Schmoedown, a lot of times, it comes down to, yes, it does come down to luck and what you know, but it also comes down to comfortability. And you get comfortable when you're sitting in the lights with the crowd, the more you do it. And I like Brienne a lot. She's actually on my fantasy league, so, you know. But I just think Mike's going to walk away with this, and I'm going to laugh at all of you, specifically Clark.
For this match, I have Brienne winning. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm sorry, Matt and Manning. I just think...
Listen,
Matt, you've had enough time, Matt. I know that you love Mike. He's a good-looking guy. I don't blame you. However, Brienne, I think that she's got a lot to prove. I think that she wants a bit of revenge. And there is nothing that a heel loves more than getting revenge and getting to laugh in the face of the person that beat them the last time. And I think that's what Brienne wants to do. And I think she's got this all planned out. I think she knows exactly what she's going to say to him. And I think she's going to get inside his head and it's going to mess him up. And I am looking forward to that match so much because I think the Smack Talk is just going to be on point. And yeah, but I do have her winning. It will be a close match in my brain, and until they prove me wrong, that's what I'm gonna believe. And moving on from that, we do have the final match of the round 2 of the singles tournament, Rocha versus Sam Levine. It's going to be a crazy match, but how crazy will it be? Chris Dohmen.
Okay. So, selfishly speaking, I really want Rocha to win this match. Why? Because it's going to get him one step closer to what I'm going to consider the ultimate grudge fight, Harloff Rocha 2, for the title at the Spectacular. Good Jesus, that would be the best possible way to end what I'm sure is going to be a multiple video thing. And it's going to be amazing. But... What just earlier in this video, what did I call this tournament? It's ultimate upsets. And sadly, Rocha, you know I love you. I listen to Outlaw Nation every single week. I listen to Top 10 Show every single week. But Sam's got this. Sam's got this. because for the simple fact of I'm worried that Rocha is going to be too much in his own head. I'm worried that this new attitude with this new song that I kind of wish he would switch it out for something else. I think it's just it's going to get to him, sadly. And I think Sam actually is going to take it because Sam is just that much more focused on the moment. And I don't think Rocha is. Sorry, dude.
All right. I mean, that is a hot take. That is a hot take right there. Potentially with another hot take, Chris Clark, take us to your mental state.
I don't know what to think right now. On one hand, look, this is why I am so torn. Manning Franks is a member of Take 3, and his favorite competitor is John Rocha. Thus, eliminating John Rocha eliminates every single favorite of everybody, which again will make everybody happy because everybody's then on the same playing field, and we're all miserable. But, and this is a huge but, Sam Levine royally screwed my dreams and hopes of in the spectacular seeing Bibbs' name as a headline against Christian Harloff 2. I cannot believe he did that to me. He should have, I don't know, he should have lost. He shouldn't have been as good as he was. And I am so torn. I really am. I am going with, okay, I need to think about this because I said something on Facebook and I don't know if I believe in it anymore. All right. Something Bibbs actually said to me in an interview, in the interview that I did with him, the 40-minute interview I did with him, is that he views Sam Levine as his avatar going into the final. And I have to, when you go and you're the last airbender, you have to go you have to go with your avatar. I don't know, I've never seen the show, I've never seen the anime, but I am going to do an anime reference because I can. Look, I don't know why I'm doing this, but Sam Levine is Bibbs' avatar, so I'm going to say that the avatar is going to be the last airbender, and it's going to go, and he's going to go into the final. And I have to say that John Rocha has to go. Sorry, Manning. John Rocha has to go. And you're going to join us. We're going to be a happy family. And yeah, so I predict an upset with Levine again beating the Outlaw.
Flawless logic. Matt Kearns, help us.
Is that it? Okay.
No, that was beautiful. Please don't cut it. Matt Kearns.
How do I follow that? Wow. So listen, Levine versus Rocha. I don't think this is an upset. I've never considered Levine to be a real underdog in the Schmoedown. Yeah, he's had some bad luck. He's gone against some really strong competitors, which makes this a little bit easier because this isn't really the, oh, well, of course the underdog's going to win. I like Sam a lot. I liked him a lot when he beat Bibbs. Just, no, I'm kidding. That's when my bracket was destroyed. Jerk. No, but I think Rocha has a fire. I think I saw it in the interview when he was talking about Sam Levine. And he was talking about what Sam said in that post-match interview. He says he wakes up and, you know, I just feel like that's going to drive him. I think we've seen it before. I also think he's going to get justice for his former Horseman brother by beating Sam Levine. So John Rocha is going to win.
All right. I mean, I that makes sense to me. But it doesn't look like it makes a lot of sense to. Have I gone to Chris? I haven't. It doesn't. Sorry.
You started with him.
I lost track. I thought I started with the other
Manning's
Chris.
all that's left.
I definitely lost track of who I've talked to. This has been a long day for me.
I think
All right.
This is the last
track
thing.
in general. Okay.
What's the last thing?
All right, that's the signal to cut it. All right. Makes a lot of sense to me, Matt. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense to Matt. I mean Manning. It's been a long day,
No, it makes
guys.
a lot of sense to
Manning,
me.
your name is not Matt, but you know, what do you think about this match?
Eloquent way of putting it, Kristen. Eloquent way of putting it. I don't know what I'm offended more by, the fact that Clark just picked against my favorite competitor, or if he just said The Last Airbender was an anime. It is not an anime, sir. It is an American cartoon, okay? Get the facts straight. Anyway, about the match. For the Schmoedown, yeah, Rocha's got this. I love you, Levine. You're funny. You're probably the second funniest competitor here besides Mark Ellis. Rocha's got this, okay? Unless, God forbid, he lets Levine get inside his head, Rocha has this. He has his ups and downs, but his head will be in the game. And despite that song that is not what he usually goes out to and really threw me for a loop, I see Rocha taking this, and it may be to the final question, but Sam has a lot of blind spots. A lot of blind spots. And I feel like Rocha's the one with his vast knowledge of stuff that's not animated, because you know what? They both aren't great at animated. That'll probably come factor in somehow.
I don't think it's any surprise, but I am Outlaw Nation, so Rocha's gonna win. Outlaw Nation. Sorry, everyone else. I have Rocha winning the whole tournament now that Ellis is gone. He was in my final, so I still have one person left. And Chris Clark, I think that he is gonna beat your curse. Because if there's anyone who can beat your curse, it is going to be the outlaw himself. He does not hold himself to the rules of man. Are you kidding me? He is the outlaw. He laughs at the face of rules. That is what the outlaw is all about. So, do I think Sam is an excellent competitor? Yes, I do. Do I think he is hilarious? Yes, I do. Do I hope that he plays more matches, because I do love seeing him on the Schmoedown? Abso-freaking-lutely. But do I want him to win this match? No. So, Rocha, I hope you win. I hope you make me a happy person. And if you don't, I'm still Outlaw Nation. It doesn't change anything. So, all right. Well, that was our great recap of round 2 of the singles tournament. Now, we don't have anything else planned for this, but if anyone has any final takes, please share them with us. We would love to hear your final takes on the wrap up of round 1.
Oh, okay.
Let's slow down.
My final take is take 3.
Oh my god. Okay, well then we can cut that. Okay, guys, that was our wrap up of the matches from round 1, plus our predictions from round 2. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments. Let us know if we're idiots. You can do that anyway. You can also find us on our Facebook page, where you can also tell us we're idiots. That's fine, but maybe say something nice too, just to soften the blow. All right, with that being said, let's find out where you can find everyone online. Chris Clark, where can we find you online, good friend?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChrisClark8788. Those numbers mean absolutely, positively nothing. Or you can find me on YouTube at No Man's Land Entertainment. Bada bing, bada boom.
Fantastic. Chris Dohmen, where can we find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at my band Last Shot Redemption at LSAR Band. And man, you guys can follow Take 3 Productions on Twitter and Instagram at Take 3 Trivia.
Fantastic. And Matt Kearns.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Kearns_Matthew, YouTube, MattMovies611, and I'm here on Take 3 all the time, but mostly on the Movie Fandom Show.
Perfect. And our latest member, Manning Franks. Where can we find you, good sir?
You can find me, if you wish, on Twitter at CINE_MANN. It's like cinema, but Cinnamon. Get it? It's punny. Let's move on with our lives. We've acknowledged it. You can also find me editing the podcast for the Geek Pulse Radio Network on SoundCloud and iTunes, Audible, wherever you can find a podcast venture. It will be there. I'll see you guys around, because I'm here to stay at Take 3 Production whether they like it or not, until they kick me off, which hopefully is not soon. Right, guys?
Nah.
I mean, I find you a complete joy, but this is not my channel, so they could kick me off whenever they want to. Maybe after they see the end result of the summit, they might do that. The house is not burning, though, so let's put that out there. You can find me, Smith_K10, on Instagram, Twitter, and Stardust, where you can view my short reactions to movies and TV shows. Other than that, you can find the rest of us all on the Take 3 Facebook page, and also right here on YouTube for all of our great content. And with that, thanks for checking us out, guys. We've enjoyed doing the summit for you, and I hope you all take care.